Hello guys, welcome to the part 2 of the Core2Quad 8200. Today, since it's Saturday, I decided to make another video, the part 2 as promised. And what we have right here, we have the performance tests H.O, the evaluation version. We also have the score that is listed here, 2070.7. And over here, we have the Unigine Heaven benchmark. These are my settings, and in my right side we have the CPU-Z open. The processor, the Core2Quad 8200, is overclocked from 2.3 GHz of the base clock to 2.8 GHz. And we have in the CPU single thread, we have the 248.1, and for the multi-threaded application pardon, we have the 991.8. And if you had to compare this to other processors from the list, from down below, from here, let's say the APU at 3.7, we can see that the Core2Quad is actually better. We have the 225 for the single core, for the Athlon, for the APU, 7850K, and our Core2Quad 8200 actually performing better in single core. And for the multi-threaded, we have 757, and for the our processor, the Core2Quad 991.8. This is the results that I'm getting. Furthermore, I want to show you. Let's start with the let's see what we have right here. We're going to close this and we're going to exit, and we're going to focus right here. Okay, so for the our computer with P35-DS3R, the score results is 2771, and we are just right here in this area. And as you can see, we have a better score than the first one, the Gigabyte DP35 P35 pardon. And we are better than the GA-MA7770 US3, and if compared to the 1366 P6T Deluxe, the motherboard from Asus, is actually better than us with 169 more points. So yeah. Now if you focus for the processors, it seems that we are better than the Core2 Duos 8400 at running at 3 GHz, but not better than the 955 Phenom. Running at the score that we see right here is 3976, and we have 3512 compared to the Phenom. Now in for the video card, we have the R920X that is listed right here down. We have 419 points, and in 2D graphics it seems that it's quite low compared to the reference that we have listed here, the GT630 625, and from the AT Radeon 5770 we are actually below that, yeah, which is quite interesting because I never seen this kind of numbers before, you know. And for the 3D graphics, it seems that our 920X is actually performing better. We have the 4612, and the reference ones that was listed to the 2D, yeah, is actually performed better anyway. The better actually from the older scores that was given here in the performance test is actually the GTX 980, 10,341 points. And for the memory that we have installed right here, We are buried in the two sticks of DDR2 SD-RAM, PC 6400, this transcend memory. We have the 898 points, and I'm going to show you. Okay, 898. For the SSD, we have the this core for the 2629, and we are buried in the ones that are from here. So we are buried in the Seagate, the Universal Digital, and the Seagate here that is mechanical. So one terabyte. Yeah. Let's try the CPU. In CPU, as I showed you before, these are the scores. You can make an idea that the Core2Quad is still a good processor that you can use for the browsing, for the movies, and for the games. Yeah. Okay, so the scores doesn't look very bad. We have good results so far. And we're going to close this, and we're going to run the Unigine Heaven. These are my settings, and we're going to hit run. And from here, This is the score that I showed you and the numbers. I'm glad that the R9 3DX didn't crashed and didn't stop my image on turn off the monitor, because they actually happened many times. I'm glad they actually managed to finalize the test. Now the conclusion time about this combo is what I can tell you is this motherboard. If you have, if you can find on a bargain, you can actually go for it. I can highly recommend. Try to be sure that this board is actually in good condition before buying it, because I found it actually on the eBay actually right now it's quite expensive. But if you find it on the local forum, you can actually buy this at cheaper price. It's stable, all the capacitors are solid, the stable in overclocking. Just imagine that I raised this processor from 2.3 GHz to 2.8 easily. I can increase more the overclocking, but I also be needing another cooler here, and also the thermal compound that actually needs to be changed from the CPU. I haven't touched the node bridge, but I will in the near future to change the thermal compound from the node bridge and the south bridge, because this motherboard has node bridge and south bridge compared to the Gigabyte, the 720 US3 for the M2 Plus. And it's actually a great board. It's very stable. It doesn't give me any problems or the blue screens, the blue screen of death. As you probably know, the Windows 7 has this kind of things, the blue screen of that all the time, and it's very annoying. And so far so good. Now I'm going to explain a few things about this motherboard that you probably are not aware of. And I'm going to show you what exactly it does. This motherboard, in order to actually support the Core2Quad processor, you need to update the BIOS. And this is the version of the BIOS. There is the F13 to actually, in order to support it. And if you go into the on the Gigabyte website, you're going to find that the F13 is the revision of the BIOS that is supported for the Core2Quads. Now, a few problems that I encountered where when you try to put on sleep mode the computer, I do know from the previous build. So let's try to put this motherboard on sleep mode. The coolers will stop. This is the sleep mode, and after that, it's just 1 second after the coolers turns on, and all the events that is installed here are going to the maximum, even the processor. And this is a problem, you know. It doesn't supposed to be acting like that, but when they actually repair something on the by the updating the BIOS, actually fixing something, but it actually breaks something else, and so on. Yeah. On a forum that I've saved, there is a problem. From what I read, is an old thread. It says there that the F10 revision of the BIOS actually fixed this kind of problems. When you put the computers on sleep, it actually has to stay on the sleep mode. But in my case, actually waking up, the power supply is not faulty. This is a very stable power supply, so it doesn't supposed to act like that. So if you encounter this kind of problem, you can actually update the motherboard BIOS to the F10 revision. Just try to remember that. And in my description also, I will put the thread that I was mentioned earlier about this issue with this motherboard. Yeah. I think that's about it. I think I'm going to end this video. If there is something else, I'm expecting your question in my description. to explain the problems that you encounter. So I'll be happy to answer you all the time. Thank you for watching, and see you in the other videos. Bye.